Hi guys, today's lesson is to review multiplying binomials and then the intro into factoring. So let's get started. All right, so multiplying binomials we did earlier this semester. Most of you guys remember we have two binomials and we need to multiply this together. Most of you guys used the Xbox method. It doesn't matter where you put what, but each of the two binomials needs to become sides of my box here. And then remember, we are going to multiply into the box. Multiply into the box. So x times x gets us x squared. X times 3 gets us 3x. X times negative 8 gets us negative 8x. And then negative 3 or positive 3 times negative 8 gets us negative 24. And here you see that our diagonals are like terms. So we just need to gather all our like terms. So we have x squared, nothing to combine there. The negative 8 and the positive 3 gets us negative 5x, and then minus 24. Okay, so this is what we have been doing last semester. So we should be pretty good at that. So what factoring is undoing this multiplication process. Meaning, we are going to start with this and try to go back to this. This process is factoring. And this is what we need to learn here. All right, so let's get right into it. So the instructions will say something like factor, and we have the problem here. We don't need the parentheses. X squared plus 10x plus 9. So we want to factor this. So if you guys remember on all of our, many of our homework assignments, you guys had some diamond problem. Okay, and essentially this is the reason why you're doing the diamond problem. There are some things that you guys need here. Okay, so the number that's in front here, these guys all have letters. Okay, so there's no number in front of the x squared, so we assume that that is a 1. Okay, all the other ones have numbers, but this is A, this is B, and this is C. Okay, so in the homework, you would have had a diamond problem, something like this, and you would have had 9 and 10 here. Remember, the two side numbers, these two multiply to get us this up here, and then add to get this number down here. Okay, so what two numbers are going to multiply to get me 9? Okay, and add up to get me 10. And the answer is 1 and 9. Okay, so I'm going to add to our triangle here. So what's up here is really this A times C. And what down here is our B. Okay, so the reason why we did so many of these is this is kind of the basis for factoring. Okay, so this is my A and my C. 1 times 9 gets me this AC up here. The 10 just comes down here. So the A and the C come here, and this B comes down here. Okay? So the answers are actually in the green box. Remember, all our binomials look like this. So this is the factored version of this. Sorry, typo there. All right. So to check, we can do this. I'm going to multiply this back out. X, I'll put the 9 over here this time, put the 1 here. X times x gets us x squared. X times 9 gets us 9x. X times 1 gets us x. And 1 times 9 gets us 9. We have like terms here. Okay. So if I gather my like terms, I get x squared plus 10x plus 9. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple more examples here, and then you guys can watch and ultimately then do your work here. All right, so the next problem, I'm going to do x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, remember here is A, number here is B, number here is C. So I'm not going to draw the diamond, or I'm not going to draw the diamond, but I'm just going to draw the X. Okay, so still up here is A times C, and down here is just whatever B is. So A is the number in front of the X squared, which is a 1. C is negative 6. So 1 times negative 6 gets us negative 6. The number in front of this X is a negative 1. So now I need two numbers that multiply to get us negative 6, but add to get us negative 1. Okay, those two numbers are going to be negative 3 and positive 2. Okay, so if you were having a hard time trying to figure out what two numbers multiply to get us this and add to get us this, what I recommend is off to the side, you just write down the factors. Okay, it's two numbers that are going to multiply to get me 6. So 1 and 6, just start going down the list. So down here will just be a counter, 2 and 3. That's it. Is there any combination? Well, we know that this is negative, so one of these guys are going to have to be negative. But my final answer down here, I see that has to be a negative 1, so I need to make this one a negative. Once I have that, then I have my solution, x minus 3 and x plus 2. So we can go ahead, check our work. I can multiply this thing out again. Squared, negative 3x, 2x, negative 6. Our diagonals, okay, are our like terms. If I combine all these, x squared minus x minus 6. Okay. All right, one more. Okay, last problem. Okay, again, all these, for the ones in the beginning, all the A's are going to be 1. Okay, this is always going to be a 1. Well, not always, but right now it'll be ones. When we get to harder ones, they won't be ones, so it actually does require more work. I'm going to go ahead and draw my x instead of the diamond. Remember, up here is multiplication, but this is a times c. A is 1, c is 16, so this is 16. B goes down here, and I just copy it down. It's -8. So now I need two numbers that are going to multiply to get me 16, but add, multiply up here, add to get me -8. So like before, if you don't remember, I can just go ahead, put the 16 here, and then just start writing the factors. So on factors, right? So 1 times 16, I always start with 1. 2 times 8. Then I have to ask, can I add this 1 and 16 together to get me -8? Can I add or subtract 2 and 8 to get me -8? The answer is no. 3 doesn't work. So 4 and 4, okay, multiply to get me 16. Can I somehow add or combine or subtract the two 4s to get me -8? Yes. If they are both negative, -4 times -4 gets me +16, but when I add them, okay, gets me -8. So these guys are going to be -4 and -4. Okay, so then that becomes my answer. X minus 4, x minus 4. Okay, and I can check my work. Actually, this time let's just distribute. Okay, so when we distribute, we get x squared, okay, minus 4x minus 4x plus 16. These guys are like terms. X squared minus 8x plus 16. Okay, that'll take us to our lesson. If you guys have any questions, message or post on Schoology, not on this YouTube page, and I'll get back to you. All right, good luck, guys.